Past few years have been especially tough on families everywhere, and now more than ever, it is important for families and providers to help children build resilience and healthy communities together. There's a fun resource out there to help with this, and here to explain is Dr. Arethusa Kirk from UnitedHealthcare. Dr. Kirk, tell us about those Sesame Street storybooks made possible by UnitedHealthcare.
Sure. So we have some wonderful resources on Sesame Street in the communities /resilience. These are 3 different storybooks that are available both in English and in Spanish. And their primary focus is really to build on those skills of resilience. So they're really about building self-confidence, bouncing back from setbacks, and being able to roll with change. These are the kinds of storybooks that are really helpful for teachers, families, grandparents to be able to read with children. And we know that the age group for Sesame Street is usually in that sort of preschool age group. So wonderful resource for families to be able to have these conversations about these core skills of resilience.
UnitedHealthcare has worked with Sesame Street for more than 10 years. Can you tell us a little bit more about this relationship?
Yeah, so we've had this initiative with Sesame Street since 2010, and they've really focused on the most vulnerable communities and really building those lifelong foundational habits. United and Sesame Street has a Growing Every Day in Every Way program that provides families and caregivers with resources for growing smarter, stronger, and kinder. And they've specifically focused on very concrete aspects of child development and issues that can really affect the overall resilience of communities, things like food insecurity, physical activity, achieving developmental milestones, and creating healthy habits through a program called We Have the Moves and Food for Thought. So these Monster Moments storybooks that really focus on resilience are the next chapter in this partnership.
What are some of the challenges that children and families faced in the past few years?
Getting children back in for their physical exam, that connection with their primary care provider, is a key call to action. The second thing is we've seen a significant rise in the number of children and adolescents that have been seen in the emergency room with behavioral health and emotional health exacerbations, including suicidal ideation. So we know that this is an important time for us to be all getting behind children and youth in our communities to help them feel stronger and smarter.
And so obviously a lot going on here. Why would you say it's important to help children and families build resilience to thrive in their communities?
Well, we know that dealing with change and being able to encourage persistence and having that self-regard and self-confidence are really the core elements of resilience. And if those key ingredients aren't in children and families, then it's very difficult for these to kind of be able to roll through these very difficult, challenging times in a manner that's going to, lead to a successful adulthood. We know that children learn from their communities, learn from their adults around them. And so building these skills in adults as well as the caregivers that care for them can help open up the door for these continued conversations.
Dr. Kirk, thank you so much for taking the time.
You're welcome. Thank you.
For more information, go to uhc.com.